Hello students, here is Divya Singh, Assistant Professor, School of Computer Application. So today we see our topics that are graphical user interface, multimedia contents. So now we see what is common gateway interface. The common gateway interface, that is CGI mechanism of HTTP enables server to execute programs, obtain results, and sends the results to the requesting browser. The program executed by HTTP server can be compiled using C++ programs, or in scripting languages such as Unix, Shell, or Perl. Next, these CGI programs, also to referred as gateway programs or script, act as a bridge between the HTTP servers and other programs such as DBMS. Now, CGI is an interface that specifies how browser input entered through tags is passed to gateways, programs, or scripts, as well as the expected format of the output from these gateways, programs, which can be passed to the browser by the web server. Next. Now here we see with the diagram that the web browser is communicating with the web server, and web server is communicating with the CGI script, and CGI script is communicating with the DBMS, or that is database. This is the interaction between the browser and the CGI programs. Now, see, CGI programs are triggered by the browser and called by browser server, that is web servers. The web server distinguishes between documents, requests, and CGI scripts or programs, execution request based on directives in the configuration files. Next, the web server configurations directives can be set so that a particular extension, that is .cgi or .exe, implies an executable program rather than the documents, or the web server can be configured in such a way that it treats all the files in particular subdirectories, that is CGI bin, as the executable CGI programs or scripts. Next, a browser can trigger a CGI program in one of the two ways. That is, in the first case, the browser requests a CGI program as a regular URL mechanism. Next, the server or on receiving the URL examines the path name and or the file extension of the URL and identifies whether it is a HTML document that needs to be delivered or an executable script program based on the file extension or location which requires to be executed. Next, in the second case, the CGI programs or script, that is URL name, appears as the action attribute of the tag. The forms are used for accepting user input for processing by CGI programs stored at web servers, identified by the value of the action attributes. Next, in either case, the server executes the program or script pointed by the URL. The program script performs action based on the input parameters entered at the browser. Next, the program may interact with other programs or query update databases and finally produce the output. Next, the output of the executable script or program is transferred to the requesting browser. Next, the CGI specifies the standard output format. The script programs write the output to the stdout as per CGI specifications. The web servers understand the output with header in CGI specified format and pass it on to the requesting browser for rendering on the screen. Next, the output of the gateway program or script is ultimately delivered to the browser through a HTTP server. Thus, any output sent to the browser must conform to HTTP. In other words, it should carry a full HTTP header with it. Next, in the case of CGI, the output is produced by gateway programs, that is, or script, and should contains the necessary protocols headers with it. Next, the HTTP server for checking the validations passes the output of CGI program, that is, next. In the process, it supplements the information supplied by CGI script to complete the header information. The advantage of this approach is that the gateway script need not worry about all the headers but are concerned with headers that describe its output. Next, some CGI programs or script may not like to incur the overhead of parsing by HTTP servers. These CGI programs are called not parsed header programs. In non-parsed header gateway programs, the responsibility of correct and complete headers resides with the gateway program itself. The CGI identifies these programs with the prefix of NPH. Next, the Common Gateway Interface CGI is a standard way for a web server to pass a web user's request to an application program and to receive data back to forward to the user. Next, when the user requests a web page, for example, by clicking on a highlighted word or entering a website address, the server sends back the requested page. However, when a user fulfills out a form on a web page and send it in, it usually need to processed by an application program. Next, the web server typically passes the form information to a small application program that processes the data and may send back a confirmation message. This method or conventions for passing data back and forth between the server and the application is called the Common Gateway Interface, that is CGI. It is part of Web Hypertext Transfer Protocol, that is HTTP. Next, if you are creating a website and want a CGI application to get control, you specify the name of the application in the uniform resource locator, that is URL, that you code in an HTML file. This URL can be specified as part of the form's tags if you are creating a form. Next, for example, you might code this code, that is a CGI code on the form, that is form method equals to post action equals to http slash www.mybiz.com slash cgi bin slash formproc.pl. This is the HTTP code to make a form which names by mybiz.com, which is a graphical common gateway interface of form program, that is that is the extension of .pl. Next, the server at mybiz.com would pass control to the CGI application called formproc.pl to record the entered data and return a confirmation message, that is .pl indicates a program written in Perl, but other languages could have been used. Next, the Common Gateway Interface provides a consistent way for data to be passed from the user's request to the application program and back to the user. This means that the person who writes the application program can make sure it gets used no matter which operating system the server uses, that is PC, Macintosh, Unix, OS 390 or others. It's simply a basic way for information to be passed from the web server about your request to the application program and back again. Next, because the interface is consistent, a programmer can write a CGI application in a number of different languages. The most popular languages for CGI applications are C, C++, Java, and Perl. All alternatives to a CGI applications is Microsoft's active server pages, that is ASP, in which a script embedded in a web page is executed at the server before the page is sent. Next. Now see forms and common gateway interface. In addition to formatting and linking tags, HTML also has tags to define on screen forms that can be used for accepting inputs from users and processing it with an application programs at the server end. Next, the form and CGI features of HTML enable the web to become a viable medium for commerce, information, search, and access, and other interactive applications. In the HTML documents, the tag pairs is used for defining a form. The form tag has three important attributes that guides the action of the browser. Next, now these three attributes are: first is your action. The action attribute specifies the CGI program or script that will be used for processing the data entered through the form. The action field accept URL of the CGI program. Next. Second is nth type. This attribute specifies how the values entered in the form are encoded for transmission to the URL. Some valid formats are application or www.form slash dash URL code and multipath slash form dash data. Next, their third attribute is method. This attribute describes the method used for sending the data to the web server. The two supported methods are get the post. The browser uses the get or post control packets for sending the data to the server. Next, usage of various types of input fields and attributes related to them are text, passwords, radio buttons, checkboxes, submit buttons, reset buttons, and hidden inputs. Next, usage of various types of input fields and attributes related to them are text, passwords, radio buttons, checkboxes, submit buttons, reset buttons, and hidden inputs. Next, what is multimedia? Now, see what is multimedia. Multimedia means that computer information can be represented through audio, video, and animation in addition to traditional media, that is text, graphics, drawings, images, etc. Next, the web integrates text and multimedia information on the same documents with relative ease. Graphics and multimedia information on a web page makes the experience of browsing more appealing and interactive. Next, images enhance the look of website and are essential for providing users with a look and feel of the product, especially in the case of e-commerce applications. Online shoppers are likely to feel more comfortable with rich graphic and multimedia representations of the product in addition to information. Next, an accurate graphical view not only helps in interacting customers but also reduces returned items, as otherwise the customer may find that the item delivered is not the, the same as the one depicted on the website. Now, web designers generally do not have the knowledge and experience required for professional graphical art. Next, good graphic design requires a great deal of understanding of the image format and colors and color depth. dithering, gamma correction, raster, and vector graphics. Once rich quality images or multimedia contents has been created, it can easily be integrated on to a web page through HTML tags. Next, there are plenty of tools in the marketplace that can create rich multimedia contents and graphic images, but the images may not offer a great experience to the viewer of the page due to download time and poor rendering of images by web browsers. Next, multimedia is the field concerned with the computer controlled integration of text, graphics, drawing, still and moving images or videos, animations, audios, and any other media where every type of information can be represented, stored, and transmitted and processed digitally. Multimedia is a media that uses multiple form of information, content, and information processing. Next, in order to offer a great overall experience to the user, attention needed to be paid to resolution, download time, format, browser compatibility, scalability, and backward compatibility. Since images dominate multimedia content on the web, they are mostly rendered online. The next section is devoted to understanding the various aspects and formats of graphic contents. Next, now see the basic elements of multimedia. The elements are text, graphics or images, raster and vector formats, true and web images, true image format. Next is web image format in which there is two, that is GIF and JPEG. And next is animation, video and last is audio. The basic elements of multimedia is text, graphic images, web image format, animation, video, and audio, in which graphic or image contains raster and vector formats, true and web images, and true image formats. And web image format have GIF and JPEG, that is graphical interchange format, and joint photographic image group, that is JPEG. Next. Now see what is the benefits of multimedia in e-commerce. First is better online reach. Converting a visitor into a customer isn't as simple as it seems, especially if you are a foreign online store. Multimedia content such as videos and images on your site can help you to reach a much wider audience which would otherwise be left confused with your native product description. Next is second is become competitive. Every e-commerce website exists with a competitive market. Numerous websites are always competing to another better one another and attract the larger audience. Next, the multimedia contents can help you to attract both Chinese and international visitors due to its accessibility. After all, people want to see as much proof of quality in regards to their future purchase as possible. Next, that is return on investment. Investing into multimedia contents does bring back revenue. Any visual materials you create for your products will help you sell more units in the future. Next, once the content is created, you can safely use it for the foreseeable future without recreating it for the same product or services. This goes for products, discount or offers, marketing campaigns, and any other marketing activity you come up with. Next. Now, see the various applications of e-commerce in multimedia are multimedia contents for e-commerce applications, multimedia storage servers, client server, video servers, and electronic commerce, information delivery, transport and e-commerce applications, and consumer access. Now, what is the definition of reality modeling language? That is VRML. The virtual reality modeling language VRML is an open standard programming language created to design three-dimensional 3D and web-based model texture and illusions. VRML is used to illustrate 3D objects, building landscape, or other items requiring 3D structures and is very similar to hypertext markup language, that is HTML. VRML also uses textual representation to define 3D illusions, presentation methods. VRML is also known as virtual reality markup language. Next, VRML is a popular open standard tool for developing 3D animations, illusions, characters, and most full-scale graphical web applications representations. VRML uses text to define 3D credentials, that is, 3D items, coordinates, and geometric values are specified and transformed into the original illusions or image. Next, VRML was an open standard that provided easy adaptability and thus was used primarily for education and experimentation. VRML was used to design virtual web accessible words but did not easily integrate with HTML, which led to the eventually X3D replacements. Next. Now, thank you for listening.